Kenny.
Hey! What up, motherfuckers?
Sorry I'm late. What are we arguing about?
At the expense of offending one of the tallest media giants in present-day America, I'm making this video to tell you about something that's strangely off about Succession's opening credits. The iconic credit sequence features the aesthetic of 70s film shots and VHS tapes used to show the Roy siblings in their early teens, carrying on their lifestyle in a world dominated by Waystar Royco media. What's odd about this is, this presentation of the family doesn't quite logically add up. If they were kids in the 70s or even 80s, they would have been more than a decade older than how they are in the present day. Now, people on the internet have passed this off as a mistake, as something of a mystery. For this essay, I want to build the case that these so-called aesthetic problems are intentional, and this montage reveals something new about Logan Roy and his family that could explain their psychological workings better than ever before. Let's take a close look at the sequence. This 1.5 minute long clip has one key editing pattern running across all seasons. A parallel montage between shots of the internal family dynamic of the Roys and those of the external Waystar Royco buildings and large-scale coverage across the city. While this parallel back and forth makes the sequence interesting, what it also does is it pits two crucial themes side by side, the themes of family and business. When we start comparing and contrasting these two very different worlds, we start to uncover something new about the show. Waystar Royco is presented very elaborately throughout all versions of the sequence. All of Waystar's subsidiaries, their presence in Hollywood, top 80 and headlines in the news, resurgence in contemporary media. The conglomerate is clearly filmed as Logan Roy's favorite child. The 4 iterations of our opening credits proceed to show us a very meticulous evolution of Waystar Royco. Opposite to this elaborate treatment is the vague and blurry presentation of the Roy siblings, almost indistinguishable with the exception of Shiv, treated as different on the sole basis that she's a girl. We know this because it's a trend that continues throughout the show, mostly due to political reasons.
Yeah? I was the only one who mattered.
Yeah, only because you're the girl. Girls count double now, didn't you know?
Oh, yeah. No, I know. I fucking know.
It's only your teats that give you any value. So, you know, it's only your teats.
This helps us understand that the sequence is more or less designed from the point of view of Logan.
Yeah, so Shiv, or someone like Shiv, sharing some memories and feelings about your dad.
It reveals everything that matters to him and everything that doesn't. When you line up all the sequences together from the starting to the end, shots of him remain precisely fixed in position across every season, presenting to us the man who remains unchanged throughout the show. The iconic match cut at the very end reveals the core ironic idea of Succession. Logan has complete rule over the past and the present and everything in between. The rest are all puppets. The past, therefore, although stylish and very ornamental, lacks any defining detail, any moment to be cherished. It ironically shows us a lack of intimacy, a world where children are overlooked and left to their own devices. It is largely because of these elements that the montage is an excellent peek into Logan Roy's personal attitude. By violently prioritizing business over family, Logan manages to do what psychoanalysis calls repression, the substitutive formation, which involves the replacement of one idea over the other suppressed idea through language and symbols. What does this exactly mean? Have a look at how sex is treated in Succession.
Life, right? It's fucking exhausting.
I just want to find a good pussy and get out, you know?
Huh?
Mission, side mission.
A large part of the show is preoccupied with talking about
That's what that
sex.
is. Okay, I thought maybe you were thinking about all the dick you were gonna ride when he was inside.
Fucking God. You know what? No one likes talking about me fucking guys as much as you do. Do you know that? Why is that? Is that because you're the COO who can't fuck?
Roman Roy becomes the best example of this. A character so dysfunctional that he's numb to the actual act but aroused by Jerry's sexual innuendos over the phone. This is a major pattern in Succession. Language that describes the actual thing often takes over that thing, and at the same time, a substitute of the actual thing rises in its place. In the first season, when Kendall says this,
Words are just, nothing. Complicated airflow.
in many ways, he really shows off how naive he is about the power his dad exploits on a daily basis. That it is precisely language that makes Logan an excellent businessman.
My boy. You're my number one boy.
You have no idea that as a Kendall stan, how badly I wanted to reach out to Kendall Roy, shake him up and make him realize all these things. But well, at least I can reach out to you guys. Do consider hitting subscribe to SUAVE for more such revelations and explanations for shows like Succession, Barry, Severance, and more. In Season 1, Episode 7, Austerlitz, there's a family therapy session arranged by the Roys in which Logan is asked to open up and talk about his feelings towards his kids. Logan ends up putting on an appearance and saying this.
But I've always tried to do the best by them because they mean everything to me.
Here he pulls off what you could call the tell rather than show trick. Instead of needing to show the actual feeling of family, Logan simply expresses it verbally, selling an appearance to suit his personal ends.
Everything I've done in my life, I've done for my children. I know I've made mistakes.
Dad, you can't just use the one sentence.
Well, that's how I feel, Siobhan. I can make this shit up if you like.
Sounds like you already are.
As Freud formulates it, repression is inseparable from the return of the repressed. Family becomes a part of the conversation at the same time as it is being repressed, thereby being on the surface of language instead of being hidden underneath a feeling. This is because the idea of family is substituted with another idea, the idea of gaining PR points for Logan through such an attempt at make-believe. This makes us come to the next point about repression, the element that drives it. Freud claimed that it is the exterior world's language and symbols, not a person's hidden deep dark desires, that drive repression. What this implies is that the repression of family does not just remain a unique character attribute of Logan, it becomes something more, a mechanism, a sort of code that runs in the family. Kendall treats his own kids in the same way. Shiv treats her own husband in the same way. And Roman can't entertain the idea of intimacy with anyone. Because family is such a play toy amidst the Roys, this goes to explain the aesthetic problems of the montage. The footage feels a lot like a cookie cutter template, a convenient set of miscellaneous tapes that the Roys keep for upholding family image. It's similar to the times Logan felt compelled to reunite with his daughter for the sake of photos, or when he wants his youngest son to recite childhood tales spent with dad to help with his publicity. If you observe the way in which the Roy siblings are edited into the title sequences, in Season 1, Kendall is presented by his father's side as the true heir to his business. But over time this order changes. In Season 3, it's Shiv who gets a closer spotlight in the edit. This way of editing justifies our business-like approach to family, the feeling of which has been replaced by an appearance that contradicts itself. And maybe Logan is not as consciously evil as he seems to be. Maybe after decades of living in a cutthroat environment and being constantly stabbed in the back, Logan's tricks are a coping mechanism to deal with his demons. But every single time in the show, Logan favors the interests of Waystar Royco over the rest of his children.
Oh, God.
Shiv, I'm trying to talk to Jerry about something important. Stop buzzing in my fucking ear!
And instead of preventing his children from becoming like him, Logan as a father pushes them deeper and deeper into his own hellhole. Therefore, by repressing his family and substituting his children with Waystar, Logan becomes the man who leads the destruction of his family. His aims are antithetical to the idea of succession, the idea of passing on power and responsibility to his children. This explains his presence in the show, the level to which he poses like the devouring father. This insight ultimately ends up painting the opening credits as a testament to the tragedy of the show. It gives the image of an ideal life full of success and past memories, but we slowly start to realize that there's something truly off about it. Appearances, language, and propaganda take the place of reality, and the trend continues throughout the show, becoming a cyclical conflict in it, as the credit sequence plays like an evolving cycle as each season passes. Because succession symbols are so important to understand the nuances of the show, SUAVE made an essay on how the rabbit gifted by Kendall to his kids carries deeper, darker meanings and explains succession in a new light. To know more, check it out here.